Yo guys, welcome back, and today I'm going to be ranking the Black Ops campaigns from worst to best. The reason I'm going to do this is because after BO7 got announced the other week, I thought it would be only right to rank the campaigns of every Black Ops game, and yeah, let's get into it. So, first, I'm going to talk about BO3. Now, personally, I don't think this one's actually as bad as some people make it out to be, although I will say a lot of people do believe this. I will admit that the campaign is a little confusing, at least the story bit is anyway, but I made a video about this about a year ago or so. But if you haven't seen it, here's a bit of a TLDR for you. Basically, this campaign has a very smart story, actually, and there's basically a metaphor about death. Although this isn't something the average player would pick up on, which is why this campaign has also got a bad reputation for being very confusing. Besides that, the advanced movement does allow for some creative level design, but given the campaign's confusing story to most, and the advanced movement isn't necessarily everyone's cup of tea, I can only really put it here. Next, BO6. Now, this campaign has some good, decent ideas, but I don't know, it feels a bit average. I don't really know how to explain it. I do like a couple of missions, like the presidential event mission where you're sneaking around, and the Scud mission, where you're driving around individually, you have to knock out the Scud sites. But those ones are pretty cool. But the thing is the rest of the campaign is just generic. I don't really know what the best word is for the campaign besides that. But because it's generic, I guess that means it's unoffensive. And because it's unoffensive, I guess that makes it better than BO3. So that's why I'm putting it slightly higher. Next, BO2. Now, BO2 isn't bad. It's actually pretty good, and given the fact it has multiple endings, it adds to replayability, which is not what you can say for a lot of core campaigns. It also has some very smooth gameplay, and is generally a good experience, but there are a couple of things that make me put it here. One, the Strike Force missions. Yes, I know they're not necessary to play, and have some minor effects on the ending, but my god are they annoying. They just seem like they were only made to pad out the runtime, which is a bit a shame, because the regular missions are not only good enough, you can also, it's also long enough where, you'd accept it, not only that, for the second point, the modern part of the campaign is kind of mid until the end, in my opinion. Now, the part from the 1980s is good and sets up the future bit well, but I think the fact that it's kind of mid up until that point, in my point of view, kind of ruins this one for me. Right, next, Black Ops Cold War. Now, I have a bit of a soft spot for Cold War, admittedly, and given Cold War's problems behind the scenes, it was pretty good considering. Basically, it changed from Sledgehammer to Raven to Treyarch and Raven, and was made during the pandemic. But, as for the campaign, here's some of the pros. So it has a customizable character, only to a point admittedly, but this was pretty cool. Also, the abilities made the veteran playthrough far easier, at least for me anyway. The campaign tried some new things, which I really liked, and the general story felt kind of familiar because it was kind of similar to BO1, but quite different at the same time. I felt like this campaign was a little short, although, as I mentioned, the circumstances kind of made so that it sort of had to be, so I'm willing to ignore that. Also, I feel like the missions that were there were a little too long in some cases, but again, that's not too bad. But as you may have guessed, there is one better campaign in my opinion. Finally, and you might have worked out my favourite and the best in my opinion, Black Ops 1. Why? Well, it's the best combo of good gameplay and a thought-provoking yet simple story. I don't know what half those words mean, I'm just using it to make it sound more professional, I guess. But the campaign keeps switching between Alex Mason and the interrogation chamber in past missions, at least in our timeline anyway. During Mason's time in Vorkuta, he was experimented on by Kravchenko, Dragunov and Steiner, the latter two he kills in this game. This experimentation more or less makes him a sleeper agent and vaguely hallucinogenic, because every time he sees Reznov, who was another prisoner at Vorkuta and is assumed to be dead, got into his mind. So there are certain missions where he sees Reznov when he's not there. And hell, there's even one part where he believes he is Reznov, or at least talks as if he is Reznov. Because of this story, I think this one is the best Black Ops campaign, but not only that, the best Call of Duty campaign. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like, subscribe, and comment down below what I should do next. And yeah, bye.